Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Urban Legends video. Another entry here. This one I picked it randomly actually. It wasn't part of anybody's suggestion. Instead, I found this when I was actually looking up information on someone else's suggestion, and the webpage I was looking at had around like 5 different myths to talk about, and reading them I came across this one. This one is both so fascinating and yet so scary at the same time. The basic concept of it, it seems like it's not scary when you think about it, and if it happened to you in real life, it would take somebody like a brave soul to be able to not be intimidated by this. And what I'm talking about is an Argentinian urban legend called the Luz Mala, which is Spanish for essentially the evil light. And it has to do with an urban legend there in Argentina that dates back who knows how long, but it's still going on to this day. People still talk about this urban legend. So if you're there in Argentina, let's say you're there on vacation or maybe even visiting family or doing business, and you do a little bit of searching in and around Argentina, if you're unlucky enough, then you'll come across this one because this is not a good thing to see. So what is the Luz Mala, the evil light? Well, basically it's an entity of some sort that's a ball of light. Kind of like, think of it like ball lightning, except the difference is this is a ball of light that has an intelligent mind. People still to this day have no idea what it's supposed to be, but there are all kinds of experiences where people have had and seen different variations of it, and I'll try to explain as many of them here as I can. And all it is, again, it's basically depicted as a ball of light that's floating in the air, and it tends to have these strange wispy lights emanating from it. And the idea is, and the most common theme is, that this ball of light is supposed to represent lost souls that for whatever reason were not given a proper burial. And so because they were not giving a proper burial, they're essentially stuck in that middle where they can't go towards, let's say, wherever it is that souls eventually go, and they can't stay in physical form on earth. So instead they're just aimlessly trying to find an answer to things, and they happen to come across people, and then that's where they try to have some encounters with these people. But yeah, very, very fascinating urban legend there, because the way it goes is people that are in Argentina, the peasants specifically, who see this light, they're scared of it because of it being something involving lost souls. It takes on a more ominous tone because people have said that if you dare to look at the lights, then the lights will have some kind of lethal consequence for you. And part of this reason is because if you dare even get close to the lights, they emanate some kind of deadly gas, and this gas comes from the bones of the lost souls within it. So for whatever reason, the decomposing bones that are in this ball of light, I don't know if they're like physical bones or if there's some kind of spiritual manifestation, but they emanate some kind of deadly gas, and so whoever happens to come across this ball of light, it creates a lethal consequence. Now here's where it gets even scarier. This ball of light, whatever these things are, these Luz Malas, they seem to also chase people. And they chase people for a long time. I mean, imagine the encounters that apparently happen is you see something like this floating off in the far distance, it suddenly stops, and then it seems to do that thing where it recognizes that you're looking at it, and then suddenly it starts rushing straight towards you. And whenever that happens, you're supposed to be dodging as much as you can to try to get away from this light, because you're not supposed to be looking at it, but at the same time you're trying to avoid it. And so how can you do so if you can't stop looking at it because you want to know where it's going? That's what makes it so frightening. I mean, imagine a situation like that. Here you have something that is coming straight towards you, but you can't do a thing about it in terms of trying to block your view, because by doing so, you're just creating more harm for yourself. I mean, and the reason why I picked this Luz Mala is because it reminded me of some of the most scariest encounters within the Silent Hill games, and I can't wait to talk about about them when I get to those games respectively. There's the part, for example, in Silent Hill 3 where that main character Heather encounters like this reddish light of some sort, and whenever she encounters it, it starts chasing after her, and the minute that red light touches her, it essentially kills her. And so the whole idea of the game is you're running from room to room to room as quick as you can. And when I saw this walkthrough on YouTube, I was like, I was almost as scared as the player itself, the person that was playing the game, because it is that intense. You cannot let this light touch you for any reason, and you are barely ahead of it. And the same thing happened with another game, Silent Hill Downpour, where it borrows that same concept. Instead of light, it's some kind of wormhole, but it emanates light, like pinpoints of light as well. And it's the same thing. This thing is chasing after the main player, and when that happens, you are barely ahead of it, and you cannot let it touch you. I mean, it can touch you, but you can't let it like touch you too long, otherwise you get sucked down that wormhole, and then that is it. That's what I imagine an encounter with the Luz Mala is like, where you have something where this thing is coming straight towards you. You're running as fast as you can, but you can only get so far because what are you going to do? If you hide and you're lucky enough, let's say you go inside some kind of rock enclosure or maybe even some kind of rotting, decomposing tree, there you see this thing hovering above you, and you see the light cracking through various places, and you're just freaking out of your mind, wondering like when this thing will go away. But you have to wait until it does so. So that's why I think this is a really, really scary encounter that people can have when they're there. Now there are some people that are apparently very brave when it comes to the Luz Mala, because they don't see it as a harbinger of doom. Instead, they see it as potential fortune. And the other urban legend on the flip side is, if you encounter a Luz Mala, and let's say in particular it's floating in some area far away, it doesn't notice you, it's just floating and then it floats away, go to that area. And what it's supposed to do is, the Luz Mala is inadvertently pointing to you a buried treasure. And the ones that do specifically the hunting for this buried treasure, they look for these Luz Malas, they wait till they go away, and then they go towards that area. They specifically take a thick woolen blanket, because apparently those deadly gases that I was talking about earlier still emanate around that area. They also take some rosaries, because if they truly are from lost souls, they don't want anything as far as any kind of curse or any kind of danger or bad effects afterward. And then they start trying to find treasure wherever that ball of light stood for a while. And whether people have encountered treasure or not, who knows? But that is the other flip side of this urban legend. Finally, as far as like an explanation as to what this thing is besides lost souls, some people say that it's actually the devil's light. They call it the lantern of the devil. That's why some people are so scared with regards to getting anywhere near this thing, because they sense that this presence, whatever it is, it's not good. In fact, it's something tied to the devil himself, and that's why they want nothing to do with this light altogether. Crazy stuff. I mean, this stuff is freaky. I was just thinking again about something like this, where you have like a ball of light dangerously just chasing after you, and you cannot let its light reach you or touch you in any way. It just seems like it is so freaky, something that would instantly, I guess, just be so unnerving. But yeah, that's the urban legend, the Luz Mala. If anyone has any more information about this particular urban legend, please post those comments. I'd be happy to see what anyone else has to say. I thought about actually posting it in my Ghost and Spirits podcast, but the main difference is I think it fell more on the lines of the Luz Mala, where it was more of, it could be supernatural, but in other cases it's not, because in all sense it could be something scientific. I mean, there's the Will of the Wisps, which was another one that's been heavily suggested in the past, that people have attributed to just being natural swamp gas. And so with something like this, the Luz Mala, it could actually be either some kind of natural gas that comes out of the ground, or it could either be any other form of bioluminescent creatures that from far away look like something else altogether. And so I thought to myself, maybe something like this, it will fall more under the urban legend side, especially when it comes to both being good fortunes, like the people trying to find the treasure, and then bad fortunes with the people trying to escape, thinking that this is something tied to a really bad thing, like a bad devil of some sort. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.